Welcome. Hi there. Thank you all for joining me here today. And welcome to Grounded. In case you're seeing this for the first time on the recording, yeah. My name is Ro Marlin. I am as you can consider me, a medicine woman in the European Wise Woman tradition. I'm a medical intuitive and I'm an embodiment mentor. And I've spent the last 25 years showing people how to heal and fulfill their soul's calling. And I've called together and opening this open practice group to make sure this work in grounding and healing and like resting and settling into one's body is the work, and also the education behind and around it is open and accessible to as many people as possible, because I truly believe that this is one of the most important things we can do for ourselves, for our health, for our fulfillment, for our children, for our families, our relationships, for our culture, society, for the future, for all of the things, is really has to do with getting and being grounded. This group, so just today is the first time, and just want to mention that it is for all levels of experience. Yeah, whether you've been meditating, and actually sometimes, especially if you've been meditating for twice a day for 40 years, this will help you. Will be supportive. Is and will be a very foundational course. It will stay that way. I'll be talking about ground. What is ground? What is grounding? And here, this first month of April, that begins tomorrow, right? I'll be talking a lot about blockages, trauma, foundational beliefs, the reasons why we get sick, why we relapse, why we have difficulty healing, basically why I'm not healing and what I can do about it. And not only on the physical level, on all levels of our lives. Stuckness, and I'll be talking about that in bite-sized bits, right? So every session will be about 45 minutes. You can hopefully really count on that, even though I am notorious for extending and stretching a lot. I think it's very helpful if I do keep this to the 20 minutes teaching and 20 minutes practice. I know so many are very busy, very full, and just don't have the capacity for more than that. And just so you know, this will be posted on a special YouTube channel that I've created for this. And also the practices will be time-stamped. So we can always, take it also in chunks, and also be able to go straight to the practices, right? So, one more thing. I will to have it, to have it also be interactive and still respect the time constraints. I think I've decided that once a month I will, and I'll always announce it beforehand, that will be a pure question and answer, right? Sharing experience, question and answer. You can come and bring your questions or send them ahead of time, or if you can't be live, to ask your questions there. So that way we can interact and deepen into someone's experience or things like that, right? So what does grounded, what does it look and feel like at being grounded? And what do I mean by ground, right? That's what I want to begin with today. I think many people actually feel they are quite grounded, yeah, and settled in their bodies. I feel my body, yeah. And quite frankly, I have not met that many. And there are actually a few, and I believe both of them lived to be over 90, and they were both farmers, right? This daily engagement with the earth is one of the reasons why. But one thing and I wrote this quite a while ago, and I'm just going to read this to you, being grounded, and my sense and my experience of being grounded, and what I mean by that is that you are truly present and deeply relaxed in your body, moving through the world from your deepest center with a quiet mind and nervous system. You feel every bit of your body, and your movements are intentional, strong, effortless, and fluid. Your intuition, those thoughts that arise from, or impulses that arise from within, leads you effortlessly through life with your movements, your actions, and your responses. You do not perceive yourself as separate from your body. You're not a bright spirit encaged within a physical form. You inhabit it and are one with it. You feel the vibrancy of life, and you have brought your loving attention and compassionate awareness to each and every one of your cells, your muscles, your blood, your organs, and your bones. And you as soul are enmeshed and intertwined with the physical, no longer separate. And it is soul that engages the body in a mystical dance through matter, right? In other language, it is secure attachment, grounded. It's a regulated autonomic nervous system. It's grounded. It's being in coherence with my environment. Ground can be the land I live on, with its sounds, its smells, the temperatures, the birds, the animals, the wind, the rustling, the way the light moves through the day, right? It tells me my latitude and longitude, the seasons, the community and village I live in, with their faces, that being known, being seen, right? That small, close-knit community and village means not only do I see familiar faces, I am a familiar face. Family can be ground with a secure attachment, yeah, and also even insecure attachment can still be ground, yeah, when it is that what is holding us in place, right? Even language, to express myself and be heard and understood, right? I really understood this one myself when I moved to another country without knowing the language, and then immersed myself and had that language, and then moved back to my land of origin again and lost that language, and that standing between languages just, it's way more powerful, yeah, as a ground than we sometimes, I think, believe, or I, for example, did. Culture, culture is also a ground. All these things that tell me, yeah, who I am, right? That hold me tethered here into the ground and give me security. And we also have an inner ground, right? And this is very much when we have this inner ground and know our inner ground and are inhabiting the earth within us, and that resonates, with the earth beneath us, the earth around us. We're attuned to nature and the environment and all things around us, but seeing nature as everything, right? Even an object, right? Even my cup, this is nature. Even my computer, right, that I'm here, sitting here looking at, is nature. Everything that exists here in the material is actually, came from this place, and so is also nature. The flavor of ground, of earth, that inner earth, is having clear boundaries and intent, being rooted in source, being stable and balanced. The qualities are trusting, a sense of fair, and a sense of openness. It's also the ability to think clearly and act on those thoughts, right? Now, all the ways that we lose our ground, have lost, and daily tend to lose our ground. All of these things I will be speaking to in the next following weeks, right? I'll be speaking to our energy bodies, not inhabiting our physical body fully, how it gets pushed out or stuck to because of trauma and all the other ways that we lose our ground, right? But today's practice is to begin gaining our ground, right? To come home into our bodies, not only be aware of them, but truly inhabiting them. And so with this practice, in all of the practices on Wednesdays, in this group, they will always, on one hand, be foundational, but today especially, I'm going to be very gentle and simple, very simple, because so much. One at the end of the day, one in the middle of the week, one in the middle of a global pandemic, in the middle of society and culture as it is, and inhabiting the bodies that we inhabit, carrying the cultural, ancestral trauma with us, being in a time of so much radical shift and change that we are in, right? To gain our ground, regain our ground, reclaim our ground, we must go slow. We must be very titrated, because otherwise we will overwhelm our systems, right? And so we have to do this in a very titrated way, right? Like I like to say, little bit by little bit by little bit. Little bit by little bit by little bit. So I want to invite you to go slow. Listen to your body's reactions and responses to any of the prompts. And if any of them feel like they're too much, right? Or if you notice yourself drifting off, then take a break, right? Open your eyes, get up and walk around, or just say, okay, that's enough for today. I'll see you next week, or I'll listen or check back in with the recording, right? And re-listen to that. That's super, super important that you don't override your system. So again, today is a very simple foundational practice that you can return to again and again and again. And like I said, it will be time-stamped. So you can go straight to the practice, and it'll be super helpful, especially after very stressful events, when maybe traumatic events, or even a stressful day, to come back, settle in without doing big meditations, right? So I would love to invite you to, we're going to begin with eyes open and sitting up with your feet on the floor. You can leave your camera on, you can turn your camera off, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And I'm going to invite you to have your feet flat on the floor. And it's in a sitting position, or at least that your feet, that you feel a surface underneath the soles of your feet. Right? Okay. And now I want to invite you to first notice your breath. Simply noticing your breath. Not trying to change it, not trying to shift it, lengthen or expand it, but just noticing how breath breathes you. Where is breath moving to, and where is it moving from? Okay. Where is it moving to, and where is it moving from? Simply noticing that breath is breathing you. And as you're noticing your breath, I want to invite you to notice your sit bones. Right? Just feeling your sit bones. And noticing the soles of your feet on the surface. And noticing your breath. And now I want to invite you to very slowly and very smoothly, and only as far as is comfortable, I want to invite you to move your eyes right and left. So very slowly and gently. Move to the right, just gently and slowly scanning the room, right? And notice if your eyes feel like or seem like they want to jump, right, from one object to the next. And here as well, we don't want to force the eyes to move slowly, right? Just have the intention of slow, smooth movements. And if they are jumping, to just notice that, right? And it may be helpful to move your head also from side to side with your eyes. And as you're scanning slowly and smoothly, notice how the rest of your body feels. What's happening with your breath? What do you notice about your breath as your eyes slowly scan? What's happening with your heartbeat? What do you notice about your belly? What do you notice about your weight on your sit bones? Again, there's no right or wrong, and simply noticing. Do you notice an activation? Do you notice a release? Or do you notice a simple, just a resting? And just noticing. Now I want to invite you to, with your eyes, find an object to focus on that is comforting. It's just comfortable and familiar. And now if it feels good, right, you can choose to either close your eyes or leave your eyes on that comfortable object. And again, feeling your weight on your sit bones and noticing your breath. I want to invite you to notice the sounds around you. And maybe at the same time, you're noticing your earlobes. Noticing your earlobes and hearing the sounds around you. And as you hear the sounds around you, bringing your attention to them, I want to invite you again to notice your body's responses. What happens with your breath? And what happens with your heartbeat? And what happens with your tummy? Again, just noticing. Now I want to invite you to notice all of the surfaces or all the parts of your body that are resting on a surface. So if you're on a chair, maybe your sit bones, your back, your thighs, or your legs, the soles of your feet, maybe your arms are resting, all the parts of your body resting on a surface. And just notice your weight on that surface. And again, as you're noticing your weight, noticing how that feels to rest on that surface, notice your breath. What happens with your breath? Does it stay the same or is it different? And your heartbeat, is that the same or is it different? And your belly, same or different? Now I want to invite you to notice your eyes. Bring your attention to your eyeballs and notice how they're resting in their sockets, right? Notice how your eyeballs are resting in your eye sockets. And just notice. And notice what happens in the rest of your body as you become aware of your eyeballs. Your eyeballs and how they're resting in their sockets. And noticing your breath, allowing your breath. Now I want to invite you to settle just a little bit deeper into your body, right? Into feeling your sit bones, into feeling the soles of your feet, and into your breath. So settling, and how does that feel? What does that mean to settle into your breath? And notice again, how does your body respond? And you feel your feet on the floor or on the surface below them. And you hear the sounds around you. Hearing the sounds around you. Feeling your earlobes. And noticing your breath. Now I want to invite you to, as you feel your weight on the surface beneath you, I want to invite you to allow to come into your awareness. Just become aware of gravity beneath you. Gravity holding you, right? And the force of gravity. And I want to invite you to wonder about gravity. I wonder. With just a shift to curiosity. Gravity. What is this force that holds me to the earth? Right? Well, that's one way gravity works, right? Holding you to the earth. It's also a force. As all forces of the universe, we have a force and a counterforce, right? So I want to invite you to notice how it's you sinking down, resting there on the surface, becoming aware of gravity, holding you, supporting you. To wonder if you sink just a little bit more deeply into the surface that's holding you, the surface you're resting on. And notice how gravity pushes back up, rises to meet you, right? With the same forces with which you sink into it. Right? Resting, settling into the surface beneath you. Settling, sinking into gravity. And noticing gravity rise to meet you, to support you, to hold you. And now I want to invite you to again notice your breath. Notice your inhale and the exhale. Where breath is moving to and where breath is moving from. Just noticing. Again, hearing all the sounds around you. Maybe even the sounds outside the room. Noticing your heartbeat. And noticing your tummy. Maybe your belly started rumbling a bit. Maybe it started talking and moving. Or maybe it's gotten very quiet. Just what do you notice about your breath, your heart, and your belly? Now I invite you to notice the exhale. And notice your exhale in relation to your inhale. Is the exhale longer or shorter than the inhale? How does it move your body? Just with a curiosity and wondering. How is exhale moving your body? And what happens with the exhale as you observe it, as you notice it, as you allow it? And feeling all of the parts of your body touching a surface. Feeling the gravity meeting your body, meeting you. Rising up to support you. I want to invite you now to, as you notice the exhale, I want to invite you to first wonder how would it feel, how would it be to, with the next exhale that arises, allow your body to sink down just a little bit more into gravity. And just to sink down just a little bit more. And just wonder first before you do that, before you allow that. And notice with the rest of your body, how does your body respond to that thought, that wondering? And if it feels good, if it feels safe, if it feels comfortable, then I want to invite you to, as the next exhale arises, allow your body to relax just a little bit more. Relax just a little bit more and sink down into the surface that you're resting on. And allowing gravity to rise up just a little bit more to hold and support you. With each exhale, you rest just a little bit more deeply into the surface that's supporting you, the surface you're resting on. And notice how the rest of your body responds to that. How does your heartbeat respond? How does your belly respond? And notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And notice the temperature of the air moving through your nose with each breath. Both inhale and exhale. When it feels comfortable and safe, the next exhale sinking down just a little bit more. Wow. Every part of your body touching the surface, sinking down, gravity rising to meet. And hold and support. And you are aware of and feel your earlobes. And you hear all the sounds around you. And you're allowing your breath, allowing breath to breathe you. And with each exhale, sinking down, relaxing into resting with the earth and her force of gravity. Yeah. Earth, the way Mother Earth holds and supports us. Feeling that nourishing support. Allowing Mother Earth to hold you, cradle you. Caress you. She's there. She's got your back. Notice how that feels. Feeling the temperature of the air on your skin. Hearing all the sounds around you. Feeling your weight being held and supported. I want to invite you to now open your eyes. And as you open your eyes, I want to invite you to focus on that familiar and comfortable object. A familiar and comfortable object. And as you gaze at that familiar and comfortable object, I want to invite you to notice how are your eyeballs resting in their sockets. And to notice what part of your eyes are you looking through. The top third, the middle, or the bottom third. And just notice. Just noticing. And you're feeling your weight still. Noticing how your body's responding. Has your heartbeat changed? Has your breath changed? How is your belly feeling? And now I want to invite you to, again, look, scan the room, orient yourself. Look to the window and to the door, onto the ceiling and the floor, orienting yourself back into this space. Feeling your weight on the surface beneath you. Feeling the earth, the gravity holding and supporting you. Beautiful. Now I want to invite you to thank you. Thank you for being here this evening with me. Thank you for joining. The replay, the recording from this will be only with my view, right? Just so everyone knows, the only recording that will be available for anyone is just with me. And I'll send an email to everyone with the access links for both of them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your week. I hope to see you next week. And if you like, I'd love for you to invite a friend, a common ground. Okay. Thank you.